Hey guys, we are back with some more MODO Eastside Hockey Manager, and before we get into this one, a few things to note. First off, our balance, we are still negative 5 million in debt, and our player budget has gone down once again. We went from, I believe, above 6 million in player budget in year number 1 to, in year number 2, we had 5.48 per year in player budget. Now we're down to 4.91. If that keeps going down like it has, we may be in some serious trouble within the next couple of years here, because that is just, it's gone down every single year significantly. So we really need to keep an eye on that. I don't think the salaries will be too big of an issue because we're not that high above the player budget. But another thing you'll notice is that we have a new team in our league. That would be Pantern, as they replaced AIK, since AIK had an absolutely terrible season last year, and they got relegated to the third league, and Pantern got promoted. And one more thing to note before we get started with this season. Eric Olson and Jacob Winkfist had pretty solid seasons last year in the S20 league, so we're going to give them another shot in the Allsvenskan. As we take a look at Winkfist here as well, he had 39 points in 29 games, 755 average rating, and then going back to Olsen, didn't really go over him, just took a look at him briefly. He had a 728 average rating, so hopefully we see some improvement out of both of those guys this year, and we will sim right past preseason and get to the regular season for year number 3. And we have our first injury. Jonathan Janssen out for 3 weeks with a hip flexor strain. And it was in practice. It wasn't even in a preseason game. Allsvenskan season preview. We are 4th in the Allsvenskan at the start of the season. Our MVP is Patrick Hallqvist, and our key rival is Fredrik Olsson, because of course we had to re-sign the majority of our players. And yeah, we're starting this already. Team is in financial crisis, and we are no longer in the position to refuse reasonable transfer offers for any team member. You hate to see it. Allsvenskan top goalies. We have Christian Engstrand, Jesper Eliasson, Eric Hanses, Linus Lundin, Emil Kruse, Arvid Lung, Jonas Johansson, Henrik Lundberg, Matthias Pedersen, and Victor Bratstrom. Top defensemen, you have Martin Marincin, Kevin Ekman Larson, David Schlemko, Alec McCree, Adam Plant, Alex Gabranson, Linus Rotbakken, Brian Cooper, Dylan Zink, Alexander Yunin. Top left wingers, you have Josh Levo, Magnus Pajärvi, Adam Brodecki, Fredrik Olofsson, Sebastian Olsson, Jacob Lilia, Emil Lundberg, Christopher Bengtsson, Victor Alman, and Philip Ahl. Top centers, you have Oscar Lindberg, Theodors Blugers, so Teddy Blugers is here in the Allsvenskan now. Eric Carlson, the other Eric Carlson, Simon Krikula, Marcus Kruger, Joseph Janssen, Patrick Blomberg, Lucas Carlson, David Lindquist, and Jonathan Janssen of your MODO Hockey. Top right wingers, you have Frederick Forsberg, Sheldon Rempal, Kim Rosedal, Victor Hertzberg, Evgeny Moser, Henrik Björklund, Sebastian Hartman, Oscar Stahl Lirenas, Sebastian Kohlberg, and Patrick Karlqvist. And top prospects, you have Jacob Olsen, Marcus Peterson, Kevin Pedersen, Simon Aho, Arvid Kadarov, Philip Elgestal, these names, Samuel Ander, Sebastian Sundlov, Marcus Nygren, and Hannes Colane. Hey, okay, so we're now in the position to be able to refuse and negotiate transfer offers again. I don't know what happened, but apparently our receivers have been appeased, and we're all good to go, I think. We'll see what happens in the future, but for right now, I think we're safe. Game number 1 against Pantern coming up on September 14th, and here we go again. So here we go, game against Pantern, the first game of the season, so we'll view it. First period, you have Yelvert from Dyke and Olsen. Second period, you have Dyke from Savander and Berglund, and then Björklund from Mikowski and Narain on the power play, and then Björklund unassisted. Third period, you have a 6-4 victory for your MODO Hockey. They got to, but we got to as well. Winkfist with his first goal of the season from Karnbach and Enstrom, and then Rosedal with the empty net with 2 seconds remaining from Eklof and Makowski. And game against Karlskrona, we have a 4-2 win. There you go, Karlqvist from Brickley and Karnbach, and then Olofsson from Karlqvist and Brickley with the goals in the first period. Second period, Brickley from Enstrom, and then Olofsson from Karlqvist and Brickley in the third period for the 4-2 win. Game against Almtuna, we are tied with them, and they get the W, unfortunately. Only goal of the game for us, Dyke from Winqvist and Yelvert, but they got 4 goals there. Here we go, game against Vastervik. We'll view this one. First period, goal by Eklof from Rosedal and Drug. Second period, nothing doing. Third period, goal by Bjorklund from Yelver and Sawander, but we're going to OT. And we have the OT goal by Jacob Winqvist from Oscar Hedman. And we are now 2-1-1 and 0 on the season. Good enough for third right now, but remember, we want to be top 2 in this league. Because if you're anywhere below, then you have to play in the round robin, and that is not what we want to do. We want to be in that championship series right away. And Bjorklund reached a career milestone. He played his 400th Allsvenskan career game. Game against Bjorklöven, they're 1-2-1-0. We are 2-1-1-0. Gonna go into it. First period, they get 2 goals. Second period, nothing doing. Third period, we get 1, but they get 1. Brickley from Karlqvist and Narain, but that is all she wrote for us, because they got the empty net with 1 second remaining, and we take another loss on the season. A career milestone for Makowski, his 100th career appearance in the Allsvenskan. The same thing for Yelvert. He had his 200th career game in the Allsvenskan. And Jonathan Johnson is back from his hip flexor strain. We'll get him back in the lineup. I'm not sure who we're taking out, though. And it looks like Wormblom is not playing the greatest, so we'll get him out for Jonathan Johnson. And Eric Hanses has played quite a few games in a row, so we'll get Lundin some time here over the next few games. Game against Tingsryd, we have a 4-3 win. There you go. Goals by Johnson from Olofsson and Berglund in his return in the first period, gets the first goal for us. Then Bjorklund from Hedman and Eklof in the second period, and then in the third period, Narain from Alman and Bjorklund, and then Johnson as well with a 2-goal game from Olofsson and Karnbach. And the player of the month is Victor Hertzberg of Vasteras. The rookie of the month is Jonathan Wickstrom of Bjorklöven, and the player of the week is Victor Hertzberg. And financial trouble at MODO. The report claims the team will have to dump salary by trading players in order to keep afloat. That is unfortunate. So, hopefully we don't need to do that. Game against Mora in the meantime, and we have a 5-3 victory. There you go. 4-2-1-0 currently on the season now with that win. Rosedal from Sawander and Narain in the first period to make it 1-0. Then Dyke from Yelver and Karnbach to tie it up. Then Johnson from Karlqvist and Enstrom. And then Berglund from Winqvist and a Dyke from Sawander in the third period makes it a 5-3 victory. And Eric Olsen has been ranked by scouting services in the import draft. So this is his import draft year, and he made it into 5th place. So he's going to go pretty early in the import draft, and I'm going to guess that whatever team drafts him is probably going to sign him, unless he prefers to stay here in Europe, which could happen. But yeah, he's aiming to play Canadian Major Junior Hockey, so this is, in all likelihood, his last season here in MODO. So we really got to make sure to develop him the right way. Now, I didn't see anything about Winqvist, so he might actually want to stay here. Either that or he's just not eligible for the import draft yet. But they're the same age, so yeah, I would guess that he doesn't want to go to North America right away, which, that's fine by me. So we'll see how that plays out. But for right now, we just need to focus on our season, not worry about the import draft. Game against Team Rudd, they're in 2nd, we're in 4th. We're pretty close together. If we get the win here, we'll be in a good spot. And we do, but in overtime. So we only get the 2 points as opposed to the 3, but the 3-2 victory. Brickley from Dyke and Bjorklund on the power play for the first goal of the game for us. Then we have Johnson from Karlqvist and Eric Olsen in the third period, and then in overtime, Bjorklund from Alman and Karnbach. Game against Kristianstad, they're pretty bad. I expect a win here, and we do get the win. 4-2 win. Johnson from Karlqvist and Olofsson, and then Johnson again from Makowski and Olofsson once again on the power play. Bjorklund from Brickley and Eklof, and then Karnbach with the unassisted goal to make it 4-2. Game against Vita Hasten, we are 5-2, 2-0 currently, second in the league. Let's make sure it stays that way with a win right here. And we get the 4-1 loss. That is unfortunate. Our only goal of the game from Johnson, from Carlquist, and Olofsson. And Hjelvert suffers an injury in practice for 10 days with anterior knee pain. Oh my goodness. And let's get Erik Hanses back in there. Linus Lundin's had 5 games, and that last game wasn't too pretty, so go with our main guy. Although they're both pretty good, as according to the league goaltending rankings. But as of right now, it appears both their save percentages are not too good. 898 and an 890, respectively, for both of them. Game against Södertälje, and we lose it in regulation 5-2. Goals by Mikowski and Dyke. Game against Västerås, we have a 5-4 shootout victory. All right, at least we got points. We're at 6th currently. Sawander from Olsen and Winquist for the first goal of the game for us ties it up at 1. Then you have Eklof from Brickley and Björklund to make it another 2-2 tie. Then Karnbach from Dyke and Wernbloom for the lead. And then Björklund ties it up with 5 minutes remaining from Mikowski and Eklof. And then the shootout, Mikowski and Berglund with the goals. Björklund injured for 2 weeks after a foot contusion in practice. What else is new? So Ostrom is getting in there now, and Björklund and Hjelvert now both out. That's an unfortunate blow to our forward core. May as well just ask coach for the best lines at this point. And with that, we had a game against Pantern, and we lost in the shootout 2-1. Only goal of the game for us was Rosedal from Eklof, and then in the shootout, our only goal was from Ostrom. And unfortunately, we take the L. We are now 5-4-3-1 on the season. Currently in 4th, so not in the worst position. We're only 3 points behind 2nd, so there's still plenty of time to get it, get it together. But if we're gonna keep pushing games to overtime, then the likelihood of us getting into those top 2 spots decreases slightly every single time we go to overtime. So try not to let it happen too much here, Modo. Karlskrona up next. And we have a 5-2 loss. Absolutely hate to see it. Ostrom and Janssen with the only goals of the game for us. And they pretty much dominated us there. They got 5, 4 in the second period. And Kalle Hjelvert is finally back to full practice. We'll get him back in the lineup. It looks like Jacob Winquist is struggling a little bit. He has more points than he did last year at the start of the season, but his average rating is actually worse. Maybe we're not putting him in the best situation. Maybe he needs to be on the 3rd or 2nd line. Maybe being on the 4th line isn't helping him out much. But nonetheless, we'll take Ostrom out and put Hjelvert back in. We're going to try Winquist on the 2nd line. I just want to see how he does there. It's not like we've been winning games too often anyway. So we may as well try it out. See how the 16-year-old responds to being in the top 6. And Erik Olsson so far has done pretty well with the average rating. 686. That is a little bit higher than last year, which was a 675 in 16 games. Game against Almtuna, they're in 10th. We are in 5th. And after this game, we lose to them 4-1. We are losing some games that we really should not be losing here. Johnson from Carlquist and Berglund for the only goal of the game for us. But, man, these are some pretty concerning losses as of recently, especially against teams like Almtuna. And I think Karlskrona I think they had at least a couple more losses than they had wins. And now they're above us. Or was it Karlskoga that we faced? Hold on, let's check the schedule. No, it was Karlskrona. It was Karlskrona that we lost to. Yeah, we're on a 3-game losing streak, and we have lost 5 of our last 6. That is not good. Final game of the month against Karlskoga. If we can't win this, then we might be in some trouble here. Come on, boys. And that'll be a 3-2 win. There we go. We're back in business. Eklof from Sawander for the first goal of the game for us ties it up at 1. Then Johnson from Eklof and Enstrom on the power play, and then Hjelvert from Karnbach and Wernbloom. So we're 6-6-3-1 to end off October. And the player of the month is Oscar Lindberg of Tingsryd, and the rookie of the month is Hampus Holtzen of Kristianstad. And yeah, as we know, financial trouble at Modo. And I think we're going to stop it here. So we're going to briefly go over the stats, and then we will end things off. So goaltenders first, Linus Lundin with a 740 average rating and a Hanses with a 7. Lundin with an 890 save percentage in 5 games and an 892 in 11 games for Erik Hanses. Defensemen, you have Mikowski with a 719, and then a 688 for all of Berglund, Amon, and Olsen, a 675 for Drug, along with Enstrom and Narain, and then a 650 for Hedman. Enstrom has 6 points, Mikowski with 5, 4 for Berglund and Narain, 3 for Allman and Olsen, 2 for Hedman and 1 for Drug. Forwards Henrik Bjorklund, Patrick Karlkvist, and Fredrik Olofsson, all with a 750 average rating, a 708 for Yelvert, a 7 for Dyke, Johnson, and Sawander, a 675 for Karnbeck, a 669 for Brickley, a 664 for Wernbloom, a 663 for Eklof and Rosedal, a 650 for Ostrom, and a 638 for Winqvist. Bjorklund with the most points on the team with 10 in 12 games. Then you have Jonathan Johnson with 10 in 11 games. That'd be 10 goals as well. Then Karnbeck with 9 points in 16 games. And then 9 for Dyke, Eklof, and Karlkvist as well. 8 for Brickley and Olofsson. 6 for Sawander. 5 for Yelver and Winqvist. 4 for Rosedal. 3 for Wernbloom. 2 for Ostrom in 2 games. And nothing for Karlstrom yet. He has not played. And a little standings update. We are currently 6th in the Allsvenskan with 6-6-3-1 is our record. Our PK is very good, 88%. Our power play could be a bit better. We're at 17.1. We gotta get back on track with our winning ways if we want any chance of getting into the top 2, because even last year, we had a chance at being in that top 2, and we thought we were on the last day of the season, but it was taken away from us like that, and there was nothing we could do about it. So I'll leave you guys off here, and let me know what we should do, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we continue year number 3.